If you're looking to compare background check companies and you're looking for a background check company, one of the first things people search for is best background screening check companies. If you're looking to compare background check companies and you're looking for a background check company, one of the first things people search for is best background screening check companies, and they go to look, right? And when you get there, what you get is you get some G2 stuff where it's just a list of background screening companies. You might get Sherm's list of 100 background check companies, but there's no real comparison, no way to look. And background check companies simply are not universally which one's the best, which one's the worst, which one's in the middle. It really is about a lot of times what industry you're in, what you're looking for, what's specific. So, what we commissioned this background screen comparison report. We've now made it available. We're trying to hit people with what they need when you're trying to find out just a list of quality background checks in different segments. So we built this one, and most of these are written. It's written by some author who's like, "Hey, by the way, my company's the best." Top. We're here's a list of the top, and by the way, we're number one. So that's not something this report does. This report is a little more honest. In fact, there's categories in which our company Bchex is not even in the list. We didn't make the list, right? So there are certain segments that just aren't our specialty. You probably could use us in them, and we do a great job, but there may be somebody with more experience in that area. Maybe that's what they specialize in. Does that make them better? Not 100% sure, but when comparing something, maybe they're particularly, there's somebody more suited or has more experience in that area. So this particular comparison is not written like that, where we're the winner in every category. So we call it the honest background screening comparison. The other thing in here is there's some discussion around, and really taken into account when you talk about the honest background screening comparisons, it takes into account acquisitions. And acquisitions make a difference, and when you're trying to compare and trying to choose someone, understanding where they are in the life cycle of an acquisition. For example, I think First Advantage acquired Sterling, HireRight acquires ClearChecks, Accurate acquired Orange Tree, Checkr acquired GoodHire. At some point, every one of these deals is in this kind of, about 12 to 24 months afterwards, they start to consolidate these things. And they start doing pricing reviews, and then they do, support restructuring, because this is where they get their savings, right? And then, they start to move smaller accounts. They're kind of deprioritized as you take the top accounts and tuck them into the acquirer. So all of that makes an impact. And you need to understand that when doing and looking at comparison, and when you type in best background checks and you're doing that assessment. We built this report so that you could get as good of information on different industries. And I don't think we take a position in any one industry on who's best. It's like, these are good, right? These are quality companies that you can count on. One of the things in here that's kind of, I want you to understand is especially for mid-market companies, right? There are enterprise companies. When you go to a company's website and you see the word global, right? Global, global, global. What they're telling you is that's who their customer is. Their customer, their desired customer, is someone who is a global operator. And there's a handful of companies in the country that built a kind of global footprint of owning companies in different countries who can deliver those services. That's great. And if you're global, that is one way to go, and you choose a global provider. But if you're a mid-market company and you're choosing a global provider who's built their entire system on supporting a global enterprise-wide customer, then you're getting a bunch of things that were built not for you. You're a mid-market domestic company with domestic employees, and you're engaging this other provider who's really looking for these global companies, because that's the ones who spend the most money. Those are the largest companies in the world. That's who they want to do business with, right? So as a mid-market company, you find yourself kind of lower down the tier and customer service. You find yourself struggling to get to different places. You don't have the account structure on their side that supports you in the way that you'd potentially like. So a lot of times mid-market companies, when they're looking, they may not want to look for what are the best enterprise global companies. They may be looking for who are the best domestic-oriented companies that would potentially serve their interests the best. And that list's on here, right? So you've got all these different ways to break up and look at how you might be organized. It's a great report. I recommend you download it. It's worthy of a few minutes of you taking your time. And if you're in any one, check it out. Look at the industries, and if you're in any one of those industries, you can look across those, and you'll see our company in there. Where we think we stand out. We used a comparison model in terms of what we could find on different companies. We used the same one every single time and applied it to us, and we feel like it's an honest collection of good companies you can work with. And the reality is Bchex is in the running and in the name, and in the middle of competing with some of the best in the country. We're proud that's the space we hold, and I think that's what the report says. So we hope it's a good report that you appreciate, and we give you some good factual information. So go ahead, download it now.